Hey everybody, I just wanted to give a quick update on the arcade cabinet. I promised I'd go ahead and do one after I finished the monitor bezel. And not only did I do the monitor bezel, but I've made a couple other changes as well. We'll go ahead and run through them real quick. As you can see, I now have a lit marquee. Now this marquee came from the arcadepartsstore.com. I'm going to go ahead and put a link in the description below if you're interested in that kind of thing. Scott does a great job on these, and it came really quick. Though I understand he's got a lot of orders right now that he's catching up on, so it may take a little bit longer now to get your marquee if you order one today. The bezel was something that I had to custom make. You might remember I put a 20-inch Dell LCD monitor in here, and in order to make it fit, I had to cut a new MDF panel and basically take a piece of Lexan and mark out where the monitor would be on the face, and on the back I spray painted black spray paint in order to get the glossy look. I think it turned out really nice, and the 20-inch screen really makes a difference in the playing, and just it's great having a larger screen, larger resolution, especially when I'm playing some of the newer PC games. Now the last thing I changed is on the back. I added a new custom power switch. Now the reason I did that was the power switch on the front is an actual toggle switch, and my PC requires a momentary switch. So I toyed with the idea of replacing the switch on the panel itself, but in the end I decided I liked the idea of having the power switch outside of the regular play area to keep little kids from turning it on and off by accident. To turn the panel on or off, basically all you have to do is hit this power button once. And the PC shuts down. In a moment, everything else will shut down with it. So that's it fully off. So we'll come back around here and hit the power button again. And after it boots up, we'll be back into the games. Now, a couple people have asked if they could see how I wired the PC into everything, so I'm going to go ahead and pause the video for a second and take the back panel off so I can show you how that all went together. Okay, everyone, this is the back of the panel. I'll go ahead and do a quick pan through. Now, the first thing I want to point out is that I added an arcade power plug with switch. Now this is a master on and off switch for the cabinet, but it does not control the PC or anything like that. That's all controlled from the power supply, the surge strip here. Now also on the back, I added an Ethernet jack. The reason I did that is since I'm running a PC, I wanted to run some of my larger ROMs from the network shares rather than trying to put a bigger hard drive inside this chassis. It works really well, and it also allows me to do things like keep the chassis up to date. The PC itself is an older HP DC7800 that I had laying around. It used to be a home theater PC, so it had a mid-range video card in it, GeForce 430. It's not a great card, but it's enough to play up to, say, PlayStation 2 without any issues. And that's about as much as I want to push anyway. The surge strip itself is kind of special. It's a trickle star, and what it does is it has one port on the surge strip called a control port, and when that one gets power, everything else behind it in the green plugs turns on automatically. So that's what allows me to turn on and off the entire cabinet from a single power switch. Now the power switch was run up from the underneath and basically plugs right into the motherboard in order to turn it on and off. I don't think you're going to be able to see that there, but that's essentially what turns the PC on and off. And when that turns on, then the strip itself turns everything else back on. So that controls the monitor, the LED strip, and the speakers up here. I really wanted to maintain that feel where you only had to turn it on or off one device. Now the monitor mount itself also took a little bit of work. I watched a lot of videos online and kind of made an amalgamation of a bunch of different plans. It's using a combination of the original screws to keep the bezel in place, as well as a few mounting brackets in order to support the monitor and keep it from sliding backwards. And then I've got straps holding the monitor to two aluminum strips that are mounted to the top and bottom of the bezel to keep the monitor in place. Works really well. Ends up being really clean on the front. And I've had no slipping or adjusting of the monitor. Got to do a little bit of cable cleanup. I'm not great at that, but I've tried to keep the cables as clean as possible. And that right there is the Ethernet cable that goes to the computer. I've got an external hard drive here, which I use to move configurations back and forth when it's just faster to do that instead of transferring it across the network. But it really isn't being used for any of the gameplay right now. And that's about it. I guess if anybody has any questions, post them in the comments below, and I'll respond or try to do a follow-up video to explain how it's working. Thanks.